I built 32 Claude Artifacts for my spiritual business school community over a single weekend, and they have become my best converting ads so far, generating purchases for as little as $3 or $4 on an $8 front end offer. I'm going to show you today how you can build your first Claude artifact in literally 20 minutes to blow up your school, even if you haven't used Claude before, have no coding, design, or any technical experience. My name is Amanda. I run Spiritual Business School. I asked my community what we wanted to focus on for the month of April. I gave them 4 options, and every single person said Claude Artifacts. So I went all in. I created 32 in one weekend, and I built out this entire AI marketing treasure chest for my community. And now I want to give you the exact workflow so that you can do the same thing. By the end of this video, you're going to have everything that you need to build your very first or next Claude artifact that your audience will actually use, share, implement, and pay for without spending weeks on an offer that nobody asked for. We're going to cover what is a Claude artifact and why this is going to convert better than a course or a passive PDF. My exact 3-step workflow that takes me from idea to having a live artifact. We'll tell you what makes an artifact good versus just functional, the most common mistakes that I made and I see other spiritual entrepreneurs make when they're building their first one, and you're going to have your first artifact. You're going to know exactly what to build and how to get started and have it ready in 20 minutes. What the hell even is a Claude artifact, and why is everybody raving about them? Think about your niche like an island that is unexplored and uncharted. Your school community is the treasure map, but without your members in it, it's basically just blank. You don't really know where the gems or the best places or things to do or explore are. You don't know what they actually want. So the artifacts approach is what you do is launch the community first, talk to your people, and then based on the patterns you're noticing, what they're asking for, you can build gems in the form of a Claude artifact to help them solve a very specific problem. Claude artifact is an interactive hosted experience that guides someone through solving a very specific problem. And it is all hosted on its own URL. What you're looking at right now is actually an artifact. You don't need any coding or Canva experience. You don't even need a pro Claude plan, although I do recommend it. All you really need is a vision or an idea and 20 minutes. What I've realized is people don't want more information. I spent 2 years creating courses and content in these big offers, and I didn't make a single dollar. What people want is results, speed, and ease. They don't want to spend hours going through a course to learn all of the information. They just want something that helps them take action so that they can see results. And momentum is the hardest thing to build. So if we can create tools for our audience that help them experience momentum, that means they're taking action and in a way that a passive lead magnet and a course just can't do. How many courses have you bought that you watched all the way through and implemented everything? You'd start it, get overwhelmed, and then you're on to something else. With an artifact, you give them one hosted experience where they can click through it, check things off, see their progress, and this literally changes everything. Let me give you a few examples. This is the AI marketing treasure chest that I built over the weekend, and all of these are artifacts, and I want to take your attention to a few of these. This is a school from scratch setup guide in the form of a Google Sheet I created and was the foundation for some of my highest converting TikTok and Instagram reels. As you can see, it's a lot of information. I was able to take all this information, plug it into Claude along with a few video tutorials, and come up with this school from scratch setup guide that now it's all hosted in one experience where I can link them to joining Spiritual Business School, the Visibility Challenge. I have my video step-by-step tutorial embedded in the actual artifact, and it presents the information in a much more digestible format. And it has a setup progress bar so they can see how far along they are. And initially, when you're looking at this looks so much more consumable. And what they're able to do is you can just click here and you're like, okay, step 1, I need to choose my model. Once they made a choice, they click here, and now we can see our progress adding up in real time. Another one I made is this daily visibility system. What I want to draw your attention to here is essentially what we're trying to do as school community owners is install habits and help our members create a new identity. The best way to do that is when you actually see the momentum of the actions that you're taking on a daily basis. And when you can visually see your progress towards a specific goal, it changes the whole game. This is all hosted on their browser, all their information is saved, and it makes the process of installing habits, in this case, the habit of visibility, so much more easy to implement. My exact workflow for creating these 32 artifacts and templates inside the treasure chest. First, I go into Claude and I say, give me a list of 111 artifacts that spiritual entrepreneurs would find super valuable based on validated market demand. And it's given me a bunch of artifacts. And this is what I did over the weekend. I knew I wanted to lean more into spiritual concepts and less business, because I just feel like we already see a bunch of like 30-day content calendar generators, Instagram carousel, and I actually have a lot of these artifacts already built. So I'm going to say, I think more spiritual, chakra, energy, healer, angel numbers, tarot, manifestation. Okay, now we're cooking. The tarot business reading generator. Reverse card meaning deep dive tool. Oh, that's interesting. Pendulum simulator. Moon phase tarot ritual planner. Lenormand card combo interpreter. Oh my God, I love my Lenormand cards. Chakra assessment quiz. Meridian and energy point reference tool. Fucking love it. 369 manifestation journal. Scripting manifestation tool, vision board builder. Okay, yes, I can get with this program. These are fantastic. He's given us all of these ideas. So then the next thing I'm going to do is go over to Etsy, because I want to find things with validated market demand. I decided I wanted to do something for astrology. I looked on Etsy and I typed in birth chart, and I'm seeing that there's a lot. See, these have so many reviews, almost 10,000. Personalized birth chart, astrology reading, same day Vedic birth chart, complete natal chart, in depth, astrology reading, birth chart, plus 1 year report. So that's what I think I'm going to go with. I'm going to go into Perplexity and say, if I wanted to create the perfect birth chart yearly forecast PDF template for spiritual entrepreneurs to use with their astrology clients in the form of a Claude artifact for spiritual entrepreneurs, what would it need to look like and include? Please research all core information. To recap, we made our 111 artifact ideas in Claude, and then I just told it to make it more spiritual, less business, because everybody's doing business. The validated market demand on Etsy, I was searching for keywords, chakras, angel numbers, manifestation, tarot, astrology. I filtered by digital products with the most reviews. We want to look for what's already selling, so not building in a vacuum. And then we want to research in Perplexity and then build it in Claude. So I took my validated concept of that astrology birth chart yearly PDF report into Perplexity, and I said, if I wanted to create this in the form of a Claude artifact, what would it need to look like and include? And he's thinking right now. We like Perplexity because it cites actual sources. It doesn't just hallucinate. We love Claude, but Perplexity makes sure that we're not just making stuff up. And then I'm going to take this research that Perplexity gives me, plug it back into Claude, and I'm just going to say, now let's create the perfect artifact in my branding using this input. Okay, so that took 2 minutes, but I got the entire template. And all I'm gonna do is download this PDF, go into a new chat, and I say, now let's create the perfect for spiritual astrologers interactive Claude artifacts, but please also in my branding with pink, purple, lilac gradients and buttons. And then I'm going to attach my report from Perplexity, and Claude is going to make this for me. Let's see how it does. Okay, it is 1:37 right now. He analyzed everything I gave him. He said he's going to be stunning. Let me build the full interactive report builder with all 13 sections with your signature aesthetic. And now he is building the artifact. While he's building that, I just wanted to show you a faster shortcut to creating your first artifact, the way that I built the Soul Line Skool from scratch artifact, which is I have this Google Sheet. So I would download it as an Excel. And I also had this 100K Business by Design workbook. That is a Google Doc. I'll download this as a PDF. And let's say, now let's please create the perfect interactive Claude artifact for the 100K Business by Design spiritual. Have my workbook below. Branding, and you can include like a screenshot of your branding. Pink, purple, lilac, radiance, and buttons, please. Let me give him the 100K Business by Design. There. See, he's still building over here. And this is exactly how I created this Skool from scratch artifact I showed you before. It's now 1:40, so within 3 minutes, it made me this birth chart and year ahead forecast artifact that astrologers can use to create branded astrology reading reports for their clients. Got the cover page, welcome letter, chart at a glance, charts ruler, and then it's going to allow them to export this in the form of a branded PDF that has their client's full report in a beautifully easy to use and digest format. And the way that I would do this is first, I would publish artifact, publish. I'll show you how I'll add it to my classroom, copy link. And let's go to our AI marketing treasure chest. We're gonna add this to here. Yep. I'm gonna duplicate this and change this link to our actual link. I'm going to download that and upload, this one. This file, birth chart forecast builder. I want to be able to share this with my clients. Anyone with the link, copy, and I'm gonna take a screenshot so they know what it looks like. I'm gonna close this out for a second. Birth chart and year ahead forecast reading. And I'm gonna put my image in there. And I will add him to my project for my treasure chest. And say publish, save. Now let's go back to my 100K Biz by Design workbook that was passive, and I turned it into an interactive artifact by uploading a screenshot of branding I liked along with my PDF, and now it built this for us. I will say 7 out of 10 times this gets me the output I want at the beginning, but let's say I wanted to make a change and say, can you please create an export to PDF button that exports the entire reading into a beautifully formatted document they can share with their clients. I can just talk to it in plain English to add a function, change the colors, move things around, and it will update it for me. What separates a good artifact versus something that's just functional is that you want it to be interactive. The real leverage here is that we're able to create interactive experiences that create active instead of passive learning. When someone's just reading an ebook or going through a PDF, they're kind of getting information, but they're not really taking action with it. And our whole goal is to help them take action. So a great artifact is focused on one very specific problem with one very specific solution that it guides them through step by step. It should also be very intuitive. Someone should be able to pick up this artifact and go through it. Like I showed you with the Skool from scratch, it's a checklist. There's no confusion about where to start, what's first, how to go through it. Ideally, it's something that they already have partial familiarity with. You don't want them to have to do a whole bunch of research to figure out how to use it. So depending on your niche, something like chakras, angel numbers, affirmations, gratitude journal, they already have a context for understanding what these things are. And then it's our job to guide them through that experience while helping them take action, which is what facilitates them seeing results. Another way you could approach creating your first artifact is, where do a lot of your members get stuck? Or what is a question you get all the time? So I know when people are coming to me, they want to know, what do I need to actually have inside my Skool community in order to launch? Most people know the value of YouTube. They love watching and consuming YouTube content, but the idea of coming up with scripts, titles, thumbnails, and ideas for their first few videos can be really intimidating. So I created this YouTube content studio that walks them through the entire process step by step, where I basically trained Claude on all of my resources regarding what are the first 7 videos you need in your Skool community, how to create your weekly long form YouTube video so it knows what are the top performing titles, thumbnails, hooks, structure, CTAs, because we want to give them as many different entryways into getting the result as possible so that they can find a way to go about this that works for them. The most common mistakes I see people make with Claude Artifacts is because it seems so new, foreign, and maybe they're not familiar with Claude. They just overthink it or assume that they're not techie enough to figure it out. The second thing is trying to build something really big before you know what your audience actually wants. I didn't build that YouTube content studio until I had noticed a theme amongst pretty much every single one of my one-on-one VIP clients that this was something they really needed help. I'm into creating a very in-depth YouTube content studio for them. The fastest path to getting good at artifacts is honestly to just start with an idea and play around with it. You can use the workflow I showed you today and type into Claude, this is my niche. What are the top 111 artifacts that would be super valuable that my audience would go crazy for? Then you validate market demand using Etsy, have Perplexity do the research, and take all that, put it into Claude, and build your first artifact. If you've never touched Claude or artifacts before, and you have 20 minutes right now, this is what we're gonna do. Number 1, audit what are the questions that you get the most from your audience, or what is the thing that you see your clients struggling with over and over and over again. If you do have a Skool community, do a poll post. Hey, I want to make you an artifact. Here are my top 3 ideas. Which one do you want? Let them vote on it. And know, is this going to be a free artifact you're using as a lead magnet or a freebie to build your list or build trust to bring people into your community? Like my Skool from Scratch guide that has my embedded link to join Spiritual Business School? Or is this a paid mini offer or offering inside of your Skool community? Know where this is going to fit in the context of your business before you start building. Your next step would be to sign up for Claude. I recommend the Pro plan. It's $20 a month. It's the same as ChatGPT. You can get rid of your ChatGPT subscription. You honestly don't even need it. I have not looked back, not even once, and it's worth every penny for what it lets you build. You can get started on the free version of Claude. You're just going to run into token limits, and it might take you longer to build your first artifact if you're on the free plan, because you're going to have to come back every few hours and just keep adding to it. And then just start. Click around, see how it feels. Use that workflow I just showed you, because even having 1 or 2 good artifacts completely changes the way your Skool community feels for your members, because it changes from passive learning and them having to go through an entire course just to get a result to just being able to go to one interactive experience to start taking action and see the needle moving in their lives. And that's what makes them engage, see results, and around for the long run. People don't want more information. They want more results. And artifacts are the fastest way to give them that. And to build a community that people actually want to stay in. I spent 2 years creating courses and content that not a single person bought because I was building in a vacuum. This approach is completely different because you're building alongside your people and in response to what they're asking for. The work always works and you can start today. If you want to see all the done for you artifacts I built, all 32 of them, they are inside Spiritual Business School in the AI Marketing Treasure Chest. The link to join that is in the description. Now go make your first artifact, come back and tell me what you built. I cannot wait to see what you do with this. Mwah.